But as we're getting into our next series, a big shout out to Dave Testa Papi in the chat. Did subscribe during the game. I didn't want to take attention away from the game itself, but a big shout out to Dave Testa. Thank you so much for subscribing for 13 months, over a year of support. Thank you so much. Dave Testa is a fellow community caster, fellow English caster, does stream over on his own channel. Big shout out to Dave Testa. Without Dave Testa, we would not have the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League. It is the child of both Dave Testa and Chicken Man. They had a passionate night together, and the KSL was born. It was beautiful. It was amazing. So big shout out to Dave Testa again. A great part of the StarCraft scene. Oh, as we are settling into our next series, our next qualifying match, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of our Kione, we have our blue Protoss player. Just got knocked down by DRG, but looking to redeem himself. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Team Offside. It is Rex. Again, a shout out to Onside Gaming. Onside, previously a team, they were acquired by Team Vitality. That's why Ryung, Solar, and Maru are no longer technically on Onside. They're on Vitality Gaming instead, or Team Vitality. But Onside have decided to create a sister team, create like a branch of a sister team instead, and they've picked up players like Firefly, they picked up players like Control, streamers like Control, and Rex as well. So it's great to see that Onside are still supporting the scene as best they can, and they are of course supporting Rex as well. They have a long history with Rex. Rex was previously a part of Onside Gaming a couple of years ago. It's great to see him joining them once again. As NightMare is going for a gate expand into Cybercore, Rex back at home going for a hatch gas pool. Again, Rex, he is the best Zerg player, the king to the otherwise Kong that is Beastork in the Taiwan / Hong Kong region. It's actually Gogo Joey who's the king to the Kong of Beastork, but it's fine, don't worry about it. Still a great player. And is going for his third. He's going to be setting up his third base. Lings, they have arrived, forcing back that probe. Depth is on the way. We have our take of choice. Once again, Stargate. I expect a Stargate opener in every game this series. We saw it against DRG. We should be seeing it here against Rex as well. Stargate opener into Oracles, into, I imagine, a third base. Just catching up the chat. Hope you're doing well. Always, Pappy, always. Doing good, Pappy, doing good. I'm in Europe, Pappy. I don't think I messaged you about it, but yeah, I haven't been able to cast a bit of a PSA. I haven't been able to cast the KSL live because I'm currently in Poland. I was in Poland for IEM Katowice. I'm going to be staying in Poland a little bit longer as well. Because of that, I haven't been able to cast the KSL live. I've been casting by replays. We've been doing replay casts, but it's at a pretty bad time for Europe, so I haven't been able to cast it live. So I do apologize, but once I get back to Australia, bam, I'll be on it, Dave. I'll be on it. Don't you worry. Yeah, got the replay. Yeah, all good. Here we go as we have that third base on the way for NightMare. Again, a standard opener overall. Oracle gets across the map, does shut down some of those larvae, some of the eggs. But no damage other than that, as Queens will force back that Oracle. Again, NightMare, he was slipping up his Oracle control against DRG. Hopefully he tightens it up here in this final chance qualifier. Again, the winner of this series qualifies for GSL. The loser is eliminated from the qualifier, from the season, from the entire tournament. NightMare comes in from the right-hand side. He will get 2, 3, almost 4 drone kills. Oh, it does sustain a lot of hull damage. At the same time, another Oracle comes in from behind, hits that natural base. Queens are out of position. We catch a couple of transferring workers as well. Well, it's going to be 3 kills on the Oracle, 4, 5. It should be going down. Does fall. Good pick off there from Rex. Not the best trade for NightMare. Did kill 5 workers, but ideally you do want to keep that Oracle alive In the end, it was eight drones killed for 1 Oracle. That I would say is a better trade for NightMare. Slightly better. The downside is that he will not be replacing those Oracles. Now, if you are a fan of Hero, ex-CJ Hero, then you would be familiar with his playstyle. You would know that if Hero ever does lose an Oracle, he replaces it. He does replace it. He will make up for it. That's one of the unique features of Hero, but often many Protoss players don't do that. As we can see here, NightMare sticking with 2. Sticking with only 2 Oracles. Meanwhile, that is Overlord speed on the way. A lot of drone damage being done here at the natural. Rex, he's resaturating though. As soon as I saw Overlord speed, I was thinking, are we going for something like a Drop Lord Queen all-in? Are we sending it? It's still on the table, but Rex redroning makes me believe that he wants to go for a longer game. Oh, never mind. There it is. It is going to be the all-in. He redrones just to sustain himself, just to sustain that kind of army. And here we go. It is going to be an all-in from Rex. A bit of a German taxi, if you will. Let's go. The Queens, they're loading into the Overlords, into the Dropper Lords. Roaches and Lings are amassing across the map. Rex, he's just lost too many workers, too much damage was dealt. It's all or nothing. Meanwhile, NightMare back at home. Those Oracles are checking. They're looking for a 4th base. He has his Onaga. And he barely doesn't see what's going on. More Stalkers are pushing in. There we go. We have eyes on the roaches. We realize what's going on. We do have a shield battery. We have 3. Oh, we are so prepared. We have 3 shield batteries and a cannon on the way. Second pylon as well. Drop Lord is going to be going down. Good target firing there at the NightMare. And Rex, we're running out of steam. We're running out of Lings already. The Lings are going down. Queens are pushing in. They're being targeted down. We can't transfuse. We're off of creep. We cannot transfuse. Stace is going to be going off only on a couple of Lings. But good target firing out of NightMare. As Rexy backs off for a moment, he's respreading creep. Waiting for reinforcements. He's droning behind this. Oh, that's not the best sign. Rex, he's lost faith here in the all-in. He's expanding. He's droning. He's taking up into a spire. He's backing off. He's going back home. He himself knows that he cannot break NightMare. Not anymore. Too much time has passed. And the trades just have not been going well for Rex. Like, I understand the decision here, but it's quite an awkward position to transition out of. As we don't have road speed, don't have +1 melee, no upgrades. There's a lot that Rex has to catch up on. And from here, NightMare, he can expand. Speaking of, there it is. 4th base is on the way. 4th is in production. Creep is going to be receding. The Spire is going to be an interesting one. This is a really nice way to try to come back. It is unexpected. And if NightMare isn't ready for it, these mutas, they can deal a lot of damage. Can do a lot. Battle's going to be thrown down. NightMare clearing up as much creep as he can. Battle's almost getting the Observer. Not quite. NightMare is moving out across the map. And forcing reaction, forcing out Lings. We have 10 mutas on the way, and we need to get them across the map. We cannot waste them against the Stalkers. He does push in. Behind this, we have Charge on the way. Second Robo. Heroic Spade as well for Colossus. He's not entirely ready for mutas. And here it is. Mutas, they move out. And they have been spotted. They have been spotted. 4th base goes down for Rex. He cannot save his hatchery. Mutas do get across them. They're getting probe kills. Probes are going down. 5 workers go down. We force a recall. Rex killing 8 probes in total, not bad. Gets 8 worker kills, forces back the army. If only this occurred before the 4th was killed. That's the problem here. Rex, he's still down a base, he's still down in economy, down in production. Comes back in though. 14 probe kills, not bad. Good catch there from Rex. So you dive on the Lings. Zelrumba shuts down the 4th base. Does force a cancel. Oh, and NightMare going to be responding here with double Stargate and a Fleet Beacon. I imagine this is going to be for Phoenixes, but we could just go into Sky Toss. There it is. Phoenix production has commenced. It is going to be Anno and Pulse Crystals. Considering that Rex is investing into +1 air attack, I like this choice here from NightMare. Does make sense. He is taking the Mutas seriously, and he should. Zelrumba comes back in. This time we will save our hatchery. Oh, it's gonna be close. Oh my god, we barely do save it. Hatchery getting very low though. Very concerning. You know, our Mutas getting across the map once again. Getting into the main base. Phoenixes are amassing. Oh, we're down to 14 Mutas. 2 more on the way. We do catch some of the Phoenixes. Not bad. Phoenixes do get picked off. Mutas are getting surrounded. Not quite. We missed a blink. Rex does get out of there. More Phoenixes on the way against more Mutas. Ooh. Bold move here out of Rex to commit. To commit to Muta production. Despite seeing all those Phoenixes. We'll see if he can get away with it. Goes back in. And the goal here is to try to cripple the economy. Rex, he has maxed out. Oh, bleeding out a lot of these Mutas though. Yeah, getting out traded. The overcharge did so well, keeping those Phoenixes alive. Yeah, as we just bully this back. At the same time, Rex moving in with his ground army against a pure Blink Stalker army. Oh my god, that's a lot of Stalkers. And the Mailings, they crash in. It will collapse here on the Stalkers. Ravagers doing what they can. Stalkers are going down. And Rex, does he have enough? The splits are looking good. The Stalkers, they hold. They shut down the Lingbane. They shut down the Ravagers. Bailings, they try to crash into a mineral line, but yeah, they will be cleaned up. Oh! Yeah, not enough. One Bailing is no longer enough to kill a probe. The probes, they barely survive. And now NightMare is going for a counterattack. He's had enough. He is moving out. He is moving out. No more Phoenixes to deal with. He does come across some of these Bailings. Even some of the Roaches. Yeah, Bailings are getting picked up. NightMare getting in position with his Stalkers with a Mothership. Colossi are on the way. Rex still committed, still does he refuses to turn back around. Ugh. And that is going to be a bit of a waste of Banelings. Mutas coming back in. Looks like some of them have been rebuilt, but they get caught. They are going to get caught out. The final Mutas go down. Expensive losses for Rex. Likewise, we catch out all those Lings. And NightMare takes a supply lead. Does take a lead, is moving out. And Rex doesn't really have much to deal with this. He's stuck with Lingbane Roach Ravager, which is not a bad composition, but against Colossus, against a Mothership, against now Phoenixes as well. The complexity of NightMare's army is getting a bit out of hand. Zelrumba comes in. We go for the Fringe 5th base. Main army pushing towards the 4th as well. Hatchery will fall. Zelrumba gets in on the right-hand side. Rex is being pulled apart. Having a hard time reacting. Let's get those zealots. NightMare doesn't commit. He's going to retreat. I do appreciate that it looks like he's working towards Storm and Archons. Templar Archive is on the way. That'll be for High Templar. Archon, Storm. Meanwhile, I just realized the low worker count as well. I didn't realize how few drones and how few probes we were working with. NightMare is still only on 60 workers, about to take the gold. Meanwhile, we have Rex as well. On only 66 drones, that is 3 base saturation. And is oversaturated as well. Needs an expansion. Is going to be double expanding, taking the left and right hand bases. Phoenix is still wreaking havoc. Getting banelings. Shut down some of the banelings. The game is going to be slowing down from here. We're calming things down. Both players, they have the opportunity to focus on remaxing, focus on their economies. Both players have still refused to make any workers. Finally, 2 drones on the way for Rex. But NightMare hasn't made a probe in quite some time. Phoenixes, they do get into a mineral line. They get 10 worker kills here at the 3rd base. 4th even. That gets cleaned up. Vipers are on the way. That will help against the Phoenixes, against Colossus, against everything, really. Trying to go for a run by, gets caught out. And NightMare is maxed out. Despite the low probe count, NightMare, he has maxed out at 200 supply. And Rex, he's still struggling to get there. Still working with the subpar army. We now do have a greater spiral on the way alongside Corruptors. We have Vipers, that is true. But the numbers are not quite there for Rex. Not yet. Gonna kill in the hatchery. Baneling run by on the left hand side. Is spotted by NightMare. And he can race back home. But now he's gonna be turning back. Stasis trap's gonna be going off. Big stasis traps even on the Banelings. NightMare looks like he wants to maybe deal with this first. Okay. As he is pushing. And Banelings are lifted. You know, imagine if a Baneling is lifted into the air, then dies and does splash damage to air units. Imagine, Bob, imagine. That's the thought going through my mind when the Phoenixes lift up the Banelings. Smirch. But now though, NightMare gonna be pushing. Broodlords, that we've survived until Broodlords. I'm honestly a little bit shocked. I didn't think we would get there. But Broodlords are on the way. Rex refining his army. Going for run by. Mainly trades with side defense. NightMare looking good. Cleans up the Banelings. Should be shutting down the army as well, as Rex is going for a big link counterattack. This base is exposed. We get the 5th. We get the 6th even. 6th base is going to be going down. And how many Broodlords do we have? That is the question. We have 4, soon to be 5 Broodlords. Rex doing such a great job at hiding the Corruptors, hiding the Vipers, and hiding the Broodlords as well. Hasn't revealed any of it. NightMare has no idea what he's looking into. And I'm seriously getting deja vu from his series against DRG, where a very similar thing happened. And NightMare just was actually one step behind when it came to taking up into Broodlords and getting ready for it with Sky Toss. Here it is, NightMare is pushing in. Broodlords are revealed. We have a slow zone. We have some storms being thrown down as well. Good target firing out of NightMare. It does get 2 of those broods. to get two of them. Big storm here on the Corruptors, and NightMare, he's breaking through, he's snowballing out of control. Lings, they coming from behind, they collapse on the Colossus, and they do shut down both Colossi, but it doesn't even matter. GG gets called. NightMare just has too much on the ground, and NightMare takes game number 1. GG. Whew. Does push in, does break Rex before the Broodlord count can get out of hand. There were a handful of Broodlords, yes, but not much underneath them to protect them, to actually sustain themselves and to survive the eventual push of NightMare. Whew. GG. GG, well played. NightMare does take a lead in this series, but it's still a best of 3. It's still an opportunity for Rex to come back. And so far, every series has gone to the ace match tonight. So far, we've had purely game 3s. It's going to be a long night, Bob. It's going to be a long night. I can feel it. As we're getting ready for game number 2. So I was just setting up an alias for Rex. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Side Delta. We have our South Korean Protoss player leading the series 1-0, 1 game away from qualifying for this season of GSL. It is NightMare. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Taiwanese Zerg player. The red Zerg representing Team Offside. It is Rex. Again, Offside is an offshoot, a branching team from Onside Gaming, which no longer is a team. It's a little bit complicated, but Onside was acquired by Team Vitality, but they still wanted to support some of the more up-and-coming players and some other Koreans out there as well, and not just Koreans, but in general, up-and-coming players in the scene. So it's great to see Offside investing and supporting Rex, Firefly, and Control. It is great to see. As for now, we are going to be settling into the game. Going to be a hatch gas pool opener out of Rex. I almost called him Offside. Gonna be a hatch gas pool out of Rex. Meanwhile, we do see across the map NightMare going for a gate expand into the Cybercore. Standard openers. Once again, we should be seeing a Stargate opener out of NightMare. We've been seeing it all night tonight. And I imagine the trend will continue, but we'll find out. We will find out. Scourge. Kind of Scourge. I mean, they wouldn't be able to fly on their own. It's just if they get lifted, right? Yo, imagine. Imagine if, okay, Reaper Grenade goes off and knocks a Baneling into orbit. And then it explodes. Aye, aye, aye. Time to add that to co-op. That's not one of those things that you would have for like competitive 1v1 multiplayer, but for co-op, have fun. Have fun, bud. To be fair, Scourge are in co-op, so there you go. As we have our Stargate opener from NightMare. Again, once again, the Stargate should be into Oracles, leading into a third base. My eyes are on Rex. Remember, winding it back, one of the big reasons why Rex had a really hard time last game, one, he was taking a lot of drone damage. True, did sustain a lot of damage. But on top of that, if you remember, Rex initially had gone for an all-in. He went for a German taxi across the map. Went for Drop Lords, Queens, Roaches, Lings. He had committed, and he was unable to do any economic damage. He was unable to break NightMare, and Rex had to have an awkward transition out of it and an awkward longer game as a result. Did struggle to get there. So hopefully he gets a much cleaner mid-game, as that is a Void Ray first. Let's go. Void Ray first here from NightMare. With this, the Void Ray is going to be shutting down the Overlords. We're going to be denying vision, denying scouting from Rex, and we can have some fun with this. We can go into a second Stargate into a Sky Toss Rush. We can go into a Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts. We can go into a Charge all in. We have options. For now, third base is being taken. The other option, of course, is we could just have a standard game. True. We could just go into a standard game from here, into a Twilight Council and Forge for +1 for Blink. The problem is that Rex doesn't know, and NightMare has options. Could be anything. Could be nothing. As Void Ray gets an Overlord kill, is forced back. It does sustain a lot of damage, but will barely escape. Likewise, back at home, we did open up Oracle. Or we did follow up with an Oracle. Getting across the map. Getting into that mineral line. It looks like we will get a couple of drone kills. 2 workers go down. We get almost a third. 3 drones in total. The Oracle will barely escape. Oh! To say that, gets another drone. Gets and another. Oh my god! NightMare, calm down. Getting 6 drone kills in total. Very nice trade here for NightMare. Behind this, we have our Twilight Council, Forge, a +1, and a bit of an earlier Gateway Explosion from NightMare. Curious. There's going to be Blink. +1 Blink Stalkers on the way. We'll keep an eye on the Gateway counts. We'll see how committed NightMare is going to be with this. For now, we have 2 gateways here on the low ground. We have 2 gateways in the main. Now 4, 6 in total. Math on the stream, crazy. 6 gateways for the time being. We'll see if we go up to 8. See if we commit even harder, as we do have a couple of vanilla adepts getting across the map. 5 adepts, a shade into the natural. Ooh, and there's not much here to defend. Lings are trickling into their deaths. As we do shade out. NightMare, he does shade away. Getting a couple more drone kills. Reinforcements are soon to arrive, and we spoke about keeping an eye on those gateways. We do have 2 more on the way. It is going to be an 8-gate, 8K 3-base Stalker push here from NightMare. Proxy being set up as well. He's committing. NightMare is committing. I don't want to call this an all-in because we can still take a 4th base behind this, but we aren't, is the reality here. Where's the 4th? It's not here, as we throw down another gateway across the map. 2nd pylon to saturate, to reinforce. And it has been spotted. Rex, he does see the gateway. He's where? He's responding with a Hydra Den? Uh-oh. He's trying to go into Hydras. Roaches, they deny the 4th. At the same time, Big Link counterattack here at the 3rd. NightMare, he does have enough. Cannon, shield battery, warp in. But the wall's not a wall! NightMare doing his best hero impression. The Lings, they flood into the natural base. Probes are going down. Oh my god. And this is definitely worth it for Rex. Does cripple the economy here. Does cut the worker count in half at the natural. And NightMare needs to get damage done. He needs to push in. Again, where is the 4th? Nowhere to be found. No 4th base. NightMare is committed. Cleans up some tumors. Rotating around. As we rotate around, Rex, he does pounce on top of that proxy. Goes to the pylons, goes for the gateway. He will depower that gateway. At the same time, NightMare does catch a couple of transferring workers. He does push into the natural, catches the queen. Being run by, runs into a wall of zealots. And NightMare, he will not push into the natural. Really patient play here from our Protoss player. He does calm things down, backs off. Leads out a couple of stalkers. Yeah, in a head-to-head fight, he cannot take it here to the Roach Hydra of Rex. Instead, Dark Shrine. Let's go. We have DTs on the horizon. We have a Robo as well. For a War Prism to reinforce. NightMare trying to push in once again. Doesn't have much of a presence on creep, but it's going to be able to clear up quite a lot of it. And again, Rexy doesn't quite have enough to engage head-on, especially off of creep. He's still amassing more Hydras, more Lings, has been bleeding out a lot of units. Still no 4th base, by the way. Because of that, NightMare's in a better position. He just has a better economy. Rex not even fully saturated on 3 bases. Down in production, down in workers, down in mining. Rex is in quite a bit of trouble here. And that's why NightMare's feeling pretty good, feeling pretty calm. As long as Rex doesn't expand, NightMare's fine. His goal here, just deny the 4th. Over and over again. Meanwhile, he's getting his own 4th. He's getting up in bases. Ling run by is threatening to push into the natural. Doesn't quite make it. Might make it in the end. I'm pulling back for a moment. Lings, they do come across the 4th. No Arzel's to defend. Again, this still feels really off, just because NightMare, even though he's getting a 4th base, he hasn't been probing. Like, he doesn't have the best saturation for it. So, low economies for both players. Laser Trap does go up on those Lings. NightMare, he does head towards that natural. And Rexy has actually built up quite a large Hydra force. That's a lot of Hydras. So do push in. Oh, but Disruptor is going to be on the horizon here for NightMare. I assumed it was going to be Colossus, but we're going for Disruptors. We're going for Purification Novas. And Rex is all in. Our Zerg player here is all in. Like, we're down a base, we're down in workers. There's no recovering. Not anymore. It's all or nothing for Rex. And can he break NightMare before the Disruptors come out? Disruptors are on the way. Rex pushing further in. Nova goes up. Raises some of those Lings. Second Disruptor has arrived. And Rex is coming back. He's turning back around, but there's nothing home to come back to. Speaking of, Zealot run by across the map. Catching some Queens. Do catch a couple of Queens. Rex pushing on the left-hand side. And there's just no way in. Again, almost a pure Hydra army just doesn't have the support he needs. Hydras are okay, but they need Ling Bane or Roaches to support them. To buffer, to tank shots. And there's almost nothing here. It's barely an army for Rex. We blink on forward, we dive on top of those Hydras. And it goes up. And the chain of Novas, they do not stop. One after the other. Decent connections, just buying time. Allowing NightMare to have a better fight. Overcharge going over Nova, forcing a split. Takes down a Hydra. Rex stutter stepping forward at the same time. A big Zealot run by here across the map. We take down the 3rd base. Rex has nothing back at home. And he has nothing across the map. Every single Hydra going to be going down. We run out of steam. GG gets called. And NightMare, he defends against the all-in. He survives. He forced the all-in, to be fair. And NightMare will qualify for GSL. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, NightMare. He does qualify for this season of GSL. My condolences to Rex, as he does not quite make the cut. He did recently join Offside, which is really cool. Recently joined a new team, but alas, still barely unable to overcome NightMare. Game 1 was a little closer, what I will say. Here in Game 2, NightMare was more in control. Like, again, he was just doing such a great job at containing Rex, at denying the 4th over and over again, and eventually forcing the all-in. Just a really awkward all-in out of Rex. It was all on the table. It was all or nothing for our Zerg player. GG. Congratulations. Congratulations. And with that, we have reached the halfway mark. We've reached the halfway mark here as we switch our scenes over we had 6 slots left. 6 spots left in GSL. 6 remaining players can make it through. And we have 3 of them. We have Stats, who qualified over SOS. We have DRG, who qualified over NightMare. And we have NightMare, who qualified over Rex. Stats, DRG, and NightMare, they have all made it through. And now we are here to determine the final 3 players to qualify for GSL. It's gonna be 3 Terrans, let me tell you. let me tell you. There's gonna be some Terrans. Which ones, though, is the question. We have Gumiho versus TY, Byun versus Ryung, and one final lower bracket qualifying spot at the end of the night as well. Oh boy, the TBTs are upon us, and some of these players, I will say, are overall lower ranked. A big example of this, Ryung, right? Ryung, I would say that his PvZ and TVP is probably worse than that of Byun and Gumiho. It is probably lower, but Ryung, he's a TVT sniper. He's a TVT sniper. He was the one that knocked Clem down multiple times in WTL. He was the answer to Clem. When Maru failed, Ryung succeeded. And that was a crazy story that we had in World Team League, Winter. That was a month ago. And again, time and time again, Ryung, he's shown that he's a masterclass at TVT. So this is maybe a really good environment for him. In saying that, Gumiho, he's very chaotic in TVT. Byun has a very unique playstyle in TVT. So whereas a lot of players play Bio Tank in TVT, Byun plays, a lot of players play like Bio Tank Viking. Byun plays Bio Medevac. He goes for like very drop heavy styles, very aggressive, micro intensive styles. So Byun can be a very fun player to watch in TVT. TY, he mechs it up. He does love to mech it up whenever he can. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing some Bio versus mech at some point tonight as well. TY, Gumiho is willing to do mech, or he's willing to do anything, to be honest. He comes up with his own builds, comes up with his own playstyles. Gumiho is a very unique, very creative Terran player. The most creative Terran, I would say, out there in the world. He's a fun player to watch. We have 4 Terrans, and 3 will qualify. That's what's a little bit sad here. Only 3 will make it through. Which 3? We're here to find out. We are here to find out. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break. We're halfway through the qualifier. We're halfway through the night. We're going to be having a short break. When we come back, we'll burn through all these TBTs. We'll make it, man. We'll make it. How many Cyclones are going to be made? Hopefully not too many. I don't think TY and Ryung are... I will preface with this. I don't think TY and Ryung are players that really embrace the new Cyclone meta in TBT from what we've seen. From what we've seen, they haven't really embraced it too much. So maybe we'll see some more older school, some more previous meta TBT instead. We'll see. Hope so. Hope so. I do hope so. For now, though, we're going to be going on a short break. When we return, Gumiho versus TY is up next. See you soon.